Hello, it's Paul here from the Scar Modelling Twins. Let's have a look at my 1 to 350 scale Millennium Falcon from Bandai. Very petite little box, isn't it gorgeous? It's not the sort of thing that's really going to grab your attention in a shop, but I would highly recommend this to anybody. Fabulous little kit. Bandai are just masters at this stuff. Inside the box, no great fold out instructions or anything. The instructions are actually just inside the lid, which I found quaint. The molds themselves are very light grey, and there's one sprue of black, and that is the stand. Basically, it's a very simple stand. You just throw it together, 3 pieces. I've just painted 2 of the parts as a matte black just to set it off. The kit also comes with stickers, which is unusual. The brilliant thing about this is that really any young modeler could do a very handsome little model using just simple spray paint and these stickers. And I would consider one of these if your child likes Star Wars. This is much better looking than any Lego kit, and certainly any toy you can buy. If you just get one and even just undercoat them and leave that, they look amazing. So these kits are works of art, really. I, of course, have chosen to paint mine because I like the challenge. Okay, so how does one go about painting a Millennium Falcon? Well, basically, there's millions and millions of photos of this thing on the internet, of course. But I was preparing to build this, and I found a book in a bookshop, and this was about $15 or something. It was very cost-effective, I'll say. It's a Haynes manual then, and I thought, yeah, this will do. You know, this has got some lovely shots of the Millennium Falcon. So what I learned with this book, though, is that there's about 4 or 5 different versions. The Millennium Falcon is different in each of the movies. For example, it has a round radar on the earlier movies, and then the later movies it's got a square radar, and the reason for that is they got knocked off in the Return of the Jedi, and all these little points that I didn't know anything about. So looking at this book, there's these different versions of the Millennium Falcon, and I thought, okay, that's great. But what I found was it's the images of the one I needed were very poor, and didn't really help me at all. So basically, I threw it away and found a image on the internet. So how did the kit work out? Well, I'm quite happy with the thing. Basically, it was finished overall with a grey colour, one that I've made up. The interesting thing about the colouring of the Millennium Falcon is sometimes you see it in space and sometimes you see it on the ground, and it has very different lighting. So choosing how it looks is up to you. Is it in space or not? This looks particularly good with the black and white photograph. The thing I couldn't have told you about the Millennium Falcon is that it has crimson paint on it. It's maroon. I had no idea until I got the model. So that is again a colour that I've just mixed up and made that, and then that's top and bottom. The only other thing of note is that the rear engine of this, one of the things about this kit is that if you look at the rear, its engines are very bright blue, and so bright in fact they're white. So what I did then is to do that the best I could. I've sprayed it white, and then I've sprayed it blue from the side, and I am quite sure I won't be able to define this and show you on the camera, but it looks like a very light blue from the back and a darker blue from the side. I'm quite happy with that little effect there. It's worth the effort of doing that. The model was then finished overall with the wash. All of this is Vallejo undercoat, Vallejo paint, and the Vallejo wash. And once I put the wash on it, this thing just popped, and it was quite fun to detail. Final points about the detail I'll say is that I used oils end to weather it. If you look at the Millennium Falcon model, it's an egg shape, effectively, a very flat egg. If you can imagine rain falling on the top, or of course oil leaks from the top, they're going to fall in an outwards direction radially. So that's what's happened there. And then the base of the model, they will fall towards the center because of the concave nature of the thing. That's how the original model was weathered, and I think that's one of the things that really enhanced the kit. So the model on the stand looks fantastic. I will admit, to make this video, I brought it home from work. I have it sitting on my desk, and it just sits there and stares at me all day. And I must admit, it's getting quite a few rave reviews. Bandai, you are legends. I would recommend this kit to anybody. It's not going to take you a long time. You know, it's not very often you can impress people with a kit that you can literally hold in your hand. But very simple kit to make. It goes together. But if you want a challenge of how to weather one of these, you know, it'll keep you busy for a few weeks. Anyway, thanks for watching.